Yo, yo, we in the building, man. Let's get to it. Yo, shout out to everybody here in the building, man. I appreciate you guys for rocking with us. It's your boy Graphk, man. I got my little bro Hammer's house in the building. What's good, Hammer?
What's good, everybody? What's good, nation? Let's get into this shit. We got a lot to talk about.
Yes, man. We are basically to keep or not to keep. That is the question on this live. We have a slew of our own free agents to talk about. We've been talking about the likes of, I mean, come on, we could talk about everybody, Duron Payne and all these big time free agents guys, but we have not really discussed too much about our own in-house guys, right? So what we're going to do tonight is, you guys, we're going to get you guys included. We're going to get you guys heavily included in the conversation tonight. I'm going to basically mention a name down this list. Lil bro's going to say keep him or not keep him. And I want you guys to do the same thing in the chat. I'm going to be real with you, little bro. This list is extensive. There's a lot of free agents to talk about. So there's a lot to unpack here. But real quick, while everybody's here in the building, make sure you subscribe to both channels, whether you're watching on Hammer's House or DOX ENT. We appreciate you guys. Wipe them feet, break them thumbs. Either way, it works. Subscribe to both channels. Hit them thumbs up. All right, let's get this rocking, little bro. We ain't even going to waste no time today. I'm going to start right now with a former first-round pick, top 5 pick in the nation. He's been labeled as a bust. He's only 25 years old. I don't consider him a bust at all. Did he live up to a top 5 billing? Definitely not. Shouldn't have been drafted there in the first place. I think everybody pretty much already knows who I'm talking about. Defensive end, Clelin Ferrell. He is a free agent, finally out of that rookie deal. And I think personally, man, this is someone we should look at bringing back. I think he'd be inexpensive. He got his money. He got top 5 draft money, right? He's good. Clee is set for a while. I think he wants to be here. He said he'll be forever a Raider, right? I just seen him the other day on an interview saying he'll forever be a Raider. He got the Raider tattoo. He loves being a Raider. You can kick him inside, kick him outside. I think this is a guy that if you continue to build with him, he'll continue to get better and better and better. Top 5 better? No. But
hell no.
Still a very valuable asset on the defensive side of the ball. Great at stopping the run and can get to the quarterback here and there. Let me start with my brother Hammer. What do you do with Clelin Ferrell?
Look, with Clee, up and down from the time he came here. And again, I've said this like 1,000 times. He is not a guy that I wanted. He was not who I wanted 4th overall.
At all.
The way that he's been utilized, underutilized, or not utilized at all, I at this point think we need to move forward. We heard of a lot of teams, including the Giants last year with Patrick Graham as their defensive coordinator, were interested in him. Allegedly, the Eagles were interested in him. New England. I think it's best to sever ties at this point in time. I really do.
Okay.
I think we got what we could get out of him, even though it just, again, his rookie season, he wasn't bad.
No, not at all.
The tandem of Salt and Pepper with him and fucking Max, cool. But then all of a sudden, he was non-existent.
Well,
and he's a rotational guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. He's a rotational piece at best. But Graham values versatility. Like I said before, kick him inside, kick him outside, place him outside linebacker. At the end of the day, this is a guy that was asked to do a million different things in his 4 years as a Raider. Gain weight, lose weight, play this position, play that. I just think that this was a situation where coaching played a pivotal role in how Clee played the game. You know what I mean? Me personally, I am bringing back Clee on the cheap. He loves his team. There's a camaraderie there, a brotherhood there. If you can bring him back for the low, I am bringing back Clee. I don't know what the low consists of, but I definitely will bring him back. Shout out to AR. Clee will only stay if he's complacent with the cheap deal and being a rotational guy. If he believes he can get more of a fresh start, is what he needs, I think he will want to do that. Hey, I agree with you, but I do think that in the offseason, he's saying all the right things. He would like to return as a Raider. Do I think he'll be back? No. Would I bring him back? Yes. That being said, I think Clee will eventually move on to another team, but I would bring him back for the low. Let's move on. Hammer says he'd get rid of him. I said I'd keep him. I see everybody in the comment section saying go, keep, go. Kind of a split down the middle type decision. All right, another guy I think that we can all definitely agree on with this one. A guy that we were really all excited about, right? 28 years old, came over from the Baltimore Ravens, was kind of thrusted into a starting role out there because of all the injuries that occurred in their secondary. We were all excited. We thought, man, maybe, just maybe this guy can come over and be a pivotal part of this cornerback room. And he shit the bed. He did deal with some injuries, but in the limited time that he played, it was really, really disgusting. Anthony Averett. I think this would be a pretty quick conversation, right? The X. I don't see in any way, shape, or form you can bring him back. He looked terrible in this.
I look, we saw what we saw. A lot of us were on this shit with one fucking tape that we saw with him against the Chiefs. He's that guy. He's going to be a fucking stud for us. God damn, were we wrong.
Bro. At Tyreek Hill, he shut him down.
Yeah,
shut him down.
But look, every blind squirrel finds a nut. That's the best way of putting it. See you, bro.
I think this is pretty clear cut, right? I mean, there's no real discussion that has to go. I know he dealt with some injuries. I thought, like I said before, he would fit perfectly like a glove in Patrick Graham's scheme. It didn't work out. Anthony Averett, move on. I didn't even know he was 28 years old either. He's already up there. You know what I mean? It's like he's not old, but I thought he was younger than that, bro. I thought he was like 24.
We called him Arnett Jr. God damn.
I mean, bro, you got the red dread, you got the red dreads and all this shit. I mean, the Queen ain't lying. Real talk. Gotta go. Anthony Averett did not move on. Did not fit the bill. Okay, another guy right here. Got extended. Got brought back, a guy that we thought would, well, I mean, I don't think me and you thought, but in a lot of circles thought that this can be our starting right tackle. Before the season started, huge blow, I believe, a season into injury in training camp. Brandon Parker, 27 years old, free agent. I think this is pretty clear cut as well, right? Brandon Parker, I'm moving on.
I need to get some type of soundbite for like a get the fuck out of here. that's just another one. That dude fucking drove me. Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, I think this is clear cut. I think everybody realizes this. Brandon Parker did not get the job done. He is the fuck out of here, right? Clear cut. There's really nothing to talk about at this point. Like, I've never had any real high hopes with Brandon Parker. You know, good guy. Should be a rotational piece, if anything, at best, anywhere. Should not be a starting right tackle at all. Me personally, this may sound insane to you, even though he looked bad in preseason at left tackle. Maybe he can succeed somewhere else as a backup left tackle. Right tackle, he has struggled mightily.
So this is what I'm going to say in regards to Brandon Parker. Now, look, I said what I said in regards to him being re-signed, and it was, look, he's familiar with McDaniel's system. He knows Carmen Bracillo. Maybe things will work out this time around. No, him, Eluemunor, who led the fucking team in fucking penalties, like, those are two dudes I do not want in the silver and black come 2023.
I disagree with what you just said, and we're going to revisit that when we talk about it.
Okay.
Brandon Parker, out of here. Anthony Averett, gone. Clee. So Hammer doesn't want anybody back right now. Hammer has chose violence like a motherfucker today thus far.
That's
and I'm here
for
me.
I'm here for it.
Okay, so now it gets a little more tricky. Let's talk about it. This guy right here could have had a great career. I mean, just always dealt with injuries. Last year ended up turning a new page, ended up being a Pro Bowl linebacker for us. This year dealt with a lot of injuries once again. This happened in Miami in college, in Carolina with the Chargers. Denzel Perryman, he's on the wrong side of 30, right? Once again, durability is a major factor with this dude. What are we doing with Denzel Perryman, little bro?
You know how I feel about Scary Perry, bro.
Same.
Yeah, I love the dude. He's a fucking tackling machine. He's a tackling machine. Yes, the injury bug is fucked with him. But, and I've said this for the last couple of weeks, even before our season was over, before he went down with that injury. Both sides are interested in giving this man an extension, and I'm here for it. You give him an extension. He's got a great veteran, a great locker room presence. You cannot deny that.
No, not at all.
I think you lock him in for a reasonable deal.
He was paid $3 million this season.
You lock him up for a reasonable deal, roughly around a ballpark of like 2-3 years, and something that's fair. I bring him back, and then we just have to build up that linebacking core. But it starts with him, most definitely. He's a great leader, and again, he's a tackling machine. Like I want this dude here for another maybe 2 years at max.
Okay, I disagree.
Okay.
If he agrees to a deal somewhat around the range of what he got, $3 million for another year or so, I'd do it. No 2-year, no 3-year deal. This guy is consistently dealing with injury after injury after injury. If he takes $3 million, potentially $4 million to come in for a year, maybe a 2-year deal, second year team option, I'm cool with that. I've been saying this for 2 years. I want to get younger at the linebacker position. That is where the bread and butter of your defense is, the second level of your defense.
Right.
We have not had that for a long time. Denzel, yes, has played the run really well. Tough guy, locker room dude, leader. But at the end of the day, he can't cover. He consistently is hurt. $3 to $4 million range, I'd bring him back for a year. At best, 2-year deal, second year team option. But me personally, I would rather move on. Look, I don't even know. Remember, we were all questioning last year how he would fit in this scheme. We were always like, how is he going to look under Patrick Graham? In limited fashion, he looked pretty good. The defense looked totally different when Denzel Perryman was out there and healthy. They looked revitalized. They looked real, right? But he's also always hurt. So with that being said, I want to move on. But if he takes a veteran pay cut and comes in and says, I want to be here, I'll take a couple mil. I'll bring him back for another year.
I really am intrigued to know, and I don't think I'm going to be able to find it right now, what his market value actually is compared to a deal that I would potentially offer him.
Yeah.
I'm very, very curious to know what his market value is.
There's no market value on Spot Track. I can definitely look that up. I can definitely look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it now, and I do not see a market value for him. The only market values I see, hold on. Yeah, it's not fucking showing me that. It's showing me a couple of our guys' market values. Josh Jacobs, 12.9. That's where I got the 12.9 for the franchise tag the other night, and I was fucking way off. Andre James, 12. Rock, 10.9. Foster Moreau, 9. Tillery, 7.9. Jermaine Eluemunor, 5.6. In what fucking lifetime Duron Harmon 3 and Mack Hollins 2.4.
Okay, hold on. You're getting ahead of yourself.
Uh-oh.
Because those guys we're going to talk about here shortly.
Awesome.
Lil Bro says keep them. I say keep them if the price tag is right. If not, let them go and go get the bag elsewhere. All right?
You got a lot of people in my chat, and you guys can see it on the screen as well for those that are over at Graph's channel. A lot of people are saying keep Perryman. And like I said,
I'm not
there's already been talks way before this offseason even started for us that both sides are mutually interested in trying to work a deal out to extend Perryman. I'm here for it, brother. I'm here for it.
Yeah, facts. I agree with you. Like I said, the price tag has to be right. This is a clear-cut one right here, you guys. A guy that we were all really high on. And then this offseason, we went and drafted 3 running backs, 1 UDFA, got a couple more in free agency. Hammer was always a Josh Jacobs guy. I think we all were too, but we were being realistic, right? Like the writing was on the wall pretty much. Like this was the year that the coaching staff said, you want to be here? Go out and earn it. And guess what happened? Josh Jacobs was the leading rusher in the NFL, and he proved exactly what the fuck he needed to prove. I don't think there's really any discussion here. We need to re-sign Josh Jacobs. He is the heart of this offense. Even with Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs is the heart of this offense. Thanks. You bring him back. If it's 12 range, I'm cool with that. If it's anywhere from that 14 to 16 range, we got to move on. I'm sorry. I can't eat that, paying a running back that kind of money. I can't, bro. But 12 a year, I'm cool with that. Keep Josh Jacobs.
Hold on. Van City, disregard that shit. I got to fix that. Oh, something broke.
Well, what you feel about Josh Jacobs, bro?
You know how I feel about Josh Jacobs. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for those that don't know, hashtag pay JJ, hashtag pay baby beast mode. I'm here for it. Look, I understood, and I made this perfectly clear before. I understood when this front office and Josh McDaniels declined his 5th-year option, okay? At the end of the day, this is still a fucking business.
Yes.
Removing myself from the fandom, I understood that.
Yeah.
In regards to what he did for us this year, in regards to what he did single-handedly, look, put him in the Hall of Fame game, fucking busted his ass, and everybody, oh shit, he's gonna be shopped, he's gonna go here, he's gonna go there. Very next day, McDaniel shut that shit down real quick. Well, first 3 or 4 games of the season, Josh Jacobs was nowhere to be found, nowhere to be utilized, and we all were scratching our heads wondering, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude showed up. He showed out. This market right now for running backs is going to be incredibly crazy once the new league year starts.
Miles Sanders, Josh Jacobs,
Saquon Barkley, and of course, living in the Northeast, I'm hearing about the Saquon Barkley deal over and over and over again. There's another thing to think. There's another person that we're going to bring up, or I'm going to bring up right now, but that's not a running back. But he just went through a very similar situation as Josh Jacobs did, and that's quarterback Daniel Jones of the New York Football Giants.
Yep.
His 5th-year option was declined. He just got a brand new head coach as well, and he fucking shined even without having some elite receivers as his weapons.
Yep.
In regards to Jacobs, I think a fair deal. We can get close to those waters, but I'm not going near 16.
No, not at all.
I will go realistically as high as 14 and a half. But that deal needs to be done right immediately. Now. Like this needs to be done before Saquon or Miles Sanders gets a bag, because if they do, his value's fucking shooting up and it's a wrap. So
and I'll say this. Josh has proven his worth. Absolutely. And one thing about him is he wants to be here. He says all the right things. I don't know if you guys seen this tweet from him yesterday. Max Crosby added Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams on Twitter, right? And said, how are these guys not in the running for Offensive Player of the Year? And guess what Josh Jacobs said? We didn't win. I love that type of shit. I love it, bro. Like, Josh is a dog, bro. Like he wants to win. And like, he doesn't care about the self-made accolades and the independent, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't care about that. That shit to me speaks volumes about who this dude is. We got to bring Josh Jacobs back. Clear cut, the end. Like the guy wants to be here. He wants to win with the Raiders. Bring Josh Jacobs back. But it has to be a fair deal. It has to be. Because you guys have to remember, we're dealing with guys that came from the Patriots organization. These guys don't pay running backs. You know what I mean? So we have to figure it out. You know what I mean? I do believe we will pay him. I do believe it. I believe there'll be a fair deal on the table for him. But Josh has said it numerous times on Twitter. It has to make sense for me. So we shall see. But I think we both agree. Bring Josh Jacobs back.
Yeah.
Shout out to Raider for life. They should offer him 3-year, 36-40, or franchise him. I think we're going to franchise him. I think that's the deal. I think we're going to franchise him, and we'll work on bringing him back full, you know what I mean, for a 2 or 3 year deal.
I like R for life. I like the years.
That's 12 a year. Pretty much.
Money. Yeah, it makes sense. I like anywhere between 36 and 38 mil.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. That's cool with me. But once again, you can franchise these guys. And the thing is this, with Josh, he is not Zeke. A lot of people, you see what Zeke did in Dallas, and he got his bread and he shit the bed. This dude's a competitor, bruh. Like,
But wait a second. We talked about this the other night. Isn't the franchise tag for a running back like $10 million?
Mm-hmm.
No way. I think it'll be very, very tough. I know he loves this team.
Do you know what he already said? Bro, he said, I already made enough money. That's what he said already.
Yeah,
that's what Josh said.
We also know that could just be
I get it.
Us and saying the right things.
I understand, but I'm just saying he has the right mentality, and you got to bring him back. This is a guy that loves this organization. He wants to win with this organization. A guy that kept Oakland in his bio, his description on Instagram for years because that was the team that drafted him. Bring Josh back, man.
Give me 2 seconds. I just got to grab something.
It's all good. Shout out to Blake. Waller or Renfro? Who we keeping? Blake, in a perfect world, you keep both of them. You keep both of them. If you have to move on from one of them, I think personally this organization is very, very infatuated with Waller. And I think if we had to move on for somebody, it'd probably be Renfro. All right, let's get to the next name. We talked about Josh. This is the guy that's 26 years old, you guys. Defensive tackle. He's paid $2.8 million this season. Since he came in the league, you know, he's been kind of you know what I mean? With the Chargers, then he came over here and had a really nice 2-game run. And then he had a boneheaded penalty, right? And the nation just totally turned against him. It was just throwing the football down, hitting the ball out of Baker Mayfield's hand, and next thing you know, the nation just literally just turned their backs on him. And I get it. I understand. That was a boneheaded penalty. The guy's 26 years old, and the defense literally changed once this one guy came for two weeks, back to back. Tillery. What are we doing with Tillery, man?
You're a Notre Dame guy, so you tell me first what you're doing with him.
See, I'm a little biased. You know, I'm a Notre Dame guy, right? But I have to say this. I will keep Tillery, but I don't want him to be a starter. I want him to be more of a rotational piece. I don't think that Tillery should be a starting defensive tackle on your team.
I don't think he's going to want to come back then.
Well,
because I think with the Chargers, that was a situation that fucking severed ties with the Chargers organization. They brought these guys in. All of a sudden, he's losing time. He's a rotational piece then, and he wanted out. Now, we tried to call the Chargers for a trade, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
Then, all of a sudden, he's fucking cut, and we were able to claim him off waivers. Look, I like his energy. Yeah, that one fucking boneheaded mistake against the Rams definitely fucked us. I would like to bring him back. I would like to bring him back on a cheap. make it more or less a 1 year show and prove type deal, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. But I have to say this. He's a rotational guy. He can't stop the run, and he can occasionally get to the quarterback. I'm not doing the whole giving him a big bag and signing him in a 2-3 year deal. If he wants to come back, take a team-friendly deal and be a rotational guy. He is not a starter to me. Not at all. 1 year, once again, at most 2-year team option for the second year. Shout out to Marvin. What's good, Dox and Hammer? Do you think we can get the Panthers' 9th pick if we trade Carr and Renfro?
What do they have weapons-wise over there? They have DJ Moore. They have who's the Robbie Anderson, who I think he's probably going to be on.
No. He's not over there anymore.
He is. Robbie Anderson's gone?
Yeah, he's gone.
Shit. Who else do they have?
I mean, they went and got a young guy. I haven't really been paying attention to Carolina like that. They got a couple young backs. Look, bro.
Look, if it's right, and that's, again, 9th overall, because so many people have asked me, even when I put Mel Kiper's mock draft up today and who we took 7th overall.
Yeah.
Look, if we can get somewhere.
They got Terrence Marshall, LSU guy.
So if we can get something that's remotely in the top 10, trading away Carr, if Renfro has to be involved in it as well, and it helps the future of this franchise, then I'm with it. It has to make sense, because people are like, oh, I'm not taking a lineman with our 7th overall. I'm not taking an offensive lineman with our 7th overall either. I want a defensive tackle. If I can get Jalen Carter, I'll get Jalen Carter. If I can get Tyree Wilson, I'm getting Tyree Wilson. Those are my 1As and 1Bs right now. If we have another pick within the top 10, it's either going to be an offensive lineman or a quarterback. That's it, depending on what quarterbacks are available on the board for us.
I agree. Me personally, though, I said this earlier on the live. I would definitely look at Carolina. They just went and got, what is it, Frank Reich? How do you say
Frank
his name?
Reich is now
Frank Reich
is new head coach. Yeah,
and apparently this is just allegedly he tried to offer 2 firsts last year to get Derek Carr. So if he did that this year, coming off a down year with Derek Carr, I believe we can finesse them out of a 1. I don't know if we do. I think we'll probably get a 2. Me personally, if the Jets do not get Aaron Rodgers after going and getting Nathaniel Hackett, the offensive coordinator, I said this on the live earlier, I would try to send DC. And if it's true that we're trying to shop Hunter Renfro, send them over there. Give us a 2 in Elijah Moore.
I was just going to say Elijah Moore, because look,
he's falling out. He's falling out with those guys.
Well, you know what? No. He's falling out, or he did fall out specifically with the offensive coordinator, LaFleur. Apparently there were some things that I read about over the last few days. Like, he pretty much told LaFleur to go fuck himself. He told him, you suck. Like,
sounds like a Raider to me.
Look, I've had those instances. I got into it with one coach on the sideline once, and I ended up getting suspended a game. Like, you got that fire, you got that energy, you know your value, you know your worth on the field, and you're getting shitted on, and you're not being utilized. Stand up and fucking speak up, bro. Swag Jeff, appreciate you, brother.
Shout out to Brandon, shout out to Swaggy, my boys, man. Appreciate you guys on the supers. Let's move on. We're not going to talk about the whole Derek Carr and Hunter Renfro stuff. We're going to talk about free agents and what we think is going to happen with them. All right, we talked about Jay Tiller. Another guy right here that came over from Miami. The Raiders were very familiar with this guy because he was the guy that made that crazy catch when Arden Key grabbed Fitzpatrick's helmet and he threw that crazy, I didn't even know how the hell that pass was a completion for Miami to beat us. Came in this year, special teams ace, one of the leaders in the locker room, pretty much wide receiver 2. I personally think he needs to be like wide receiver 3 or 4. That's just, we need a guy that is a speedster on the outside and a great route runner. Mack Hollins. He'll be 30 years old next year. He's 29 right now. What do you think about that?
I love this kid. Special teams ace.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any better than him. Another one, great leadership, great team player. He did stand out tremendously as a number 2 for us this year. Again, I've said this over and over and over again. All the shit that Brian Edwards was supposed to be for us, fucking Mack Hollins was. A dude that's a 50-50 guy, big body, can make plays happen. We just talked about his market value is $2.4 million. I'm signing this dude to a 2-year, $7 million extension with about 5.5 guaranteed. I want this kid back though. If we can if there's a way that we can find another receiver,
we will.
There's one receiver that I would love to have right now. And it's a name that I keep hearing over and over and over again out here for the Giants. I would really love to have Gabe Davis here as a number 2 for us. I think
that will never happen.
I think him and Tay would be fucking.
I do too, but that's not going to happen. But I love that idea. But I think Jacoby may come over from New England. He's a free agent. He led the team in yardage, in receiving yards when Josh McDaniels was there in his last year with Mac Jones. Yeah. I think that's a sneaky name to keep an eye on. He's a free agent. He was a restricted free agent last year. I think he may be a guy to bring in. Keep Mac, just don't overpay him.
They gotta keep Hollins, pay him enough to buy some damn shoes.
Stupid. Shout out to Swaggy though, my brother, man. Let me see. Let's go to the next name. We both keeping him. This is another guy. Came over, and it's surprising, man, because he played on a $1.9 million deal. He's 26 years old. He'll be 27 this year. We made a trade for him this offseason and brought in Chandler Jones, got rid of Yannick, and brought in Rock Ya-Sin. He played really well for us when he was out there and he was healthy. Ended up, ending the season on an IR. Rock Ya-Sin. Me personally, I would definitely bring him back if he agrees to a team-friendly deal, and he's cornerback 2. Corner 2. Not a guy that's going to be cornerback 1, corner 2. What do you think about Rock Ya-Sin?
I think Rock kind of followed up on last year with the Colts. And look, injury bug was something that anchored him as well. I still think when he was playing, he was a very solid corner for us. He was definitely an intricate part of this defense. If I had it my way right now, I know you're probably going to bring him up, but I might as well just go into it right now because I've thought about this for the last couple of days. Like 2 guys I would bring back right now on this defense moving forward. Duron Harmon and Rock Ya-Sin. I want that duo back with us. Probably a cheap deal. Again, Harmon's market value isn't that much either. I think we could bring the both of them back, though, most definitely. Harmon is at 3 point. Duron is 3 flat. Rock is 10.9. Yeah. We try to find a way to negotiate with something a little bit smaller than that, like maybe a $7.5 million deal. Maybe make it a show and prove contract for him. He's just getting through his rookie contract. But I would love to bring
2-year deal. Max. 2.
I would love to bring both of those guys back, though. Most definitely.
We'll talk about Harmon in a minute because I have something to say about him as well. But I agree. Bring Rock back on a cheap. Like, I'm not paying him top corner money because he hasn't done enough to prove for that. But I'm bringing him back. All right. Jakob Johnson, fullback, came over from New England. Definitely was a pivotal piece to why Josh Jacobs was the leading rusher this year. I call him Jakob Johnson. People call him Jakob Johnson. It is what it is. A lot of us were pissed because Alec Ingold went to the Dolphins. You know how we are, Raiders fans. We're so stuck on guys that we draft and we bring in. Jakob was way better. I'm going to be real with you. Yes, he's not a receiving option like Alec, but this guy can block, and he made some plays for us. I'm bringing back Jakob, bro, immediately. I don't really think there's anything to talk about. I'm bringing him back immediately.
I'm looking forward to meeting him next week. With Jakob, look, the German import really did his thing, solid lead blocking for Josh Jacobs. And look, we saw the end result of what Josh Jacobs did and the numbers he put up this season.
Yeah.
The fullback position is a dying breed in the NFL, whether people look at it that way or not. There's really like a handful of teams that really utilize fullbacks anymore. And if we continue to do it, we'll probably forever do it.
It's an additional offensive lineman, bro.
I'm keeping him. I'm absolutely keeping him.
Yeah, me too. I don't really think there's anything to talk about. Like you have to.
Jack kind of said, "Fuck no, Ingles a free agent."
No, but look, you don't have to pay fullbacks. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll come back for the cheap. He'll come back for the low. So look, he's a most definite brink guy. This guy, I think, is clear cut. I think we already know what to do. He'll be 30 years old this year. Kind of bounced around the league a little bit. He was only paid $1.2 million last year. Went to the practice squad, then got kind of thrusted into the starting lineup. Dropped some footballs in crunch time for us. Keelan Cole, he's gone.
Dude got feet for hands. I'm good.
Yeah. I don't think really there's nothing really to discuss with him. I think it's pretty clear cut. Keelan Cole got to go. And I'm a fan of his work. I was a fan of him when we brought him in, but I've seen enough. We got to move on. We just went and signed Tyler Johnson. You know what I mean? I think Keelan Cole's out of here.
Everybody, Cole out. Bye-bye, Cole.
Pretty clear cut. Pretty clear cut. Shout out to Brady for Life. Signed Javon Hargrave and Dalvin Tomlinson drafts Drew Sanders, cut nickel. I like that. But Nichols has one more year on his deal. He'll be back. But I like the idea of going out and signing Dalvin Tomlinson, Javon Hargrave, and getting Drew Sanders in the draft. That is definitely a great part of, if that happens, that would be a pivotal part of our offseason. So shout out to Brady for Life. All right. Now let's get back to it. You already talked about it, so I already know how you feel. Duron Harmon. Let me say this. I would like to bring Duron Harmon back, but that man does not need to start. If Duron Harmon starts, you have to question your secondary. That man, bro, I get it. He made some plays for us, but let's just keep this shit a buck, bro. Like, he's 32 years old. I don't want him starting at safety. You keep him. Definitely bring him back on the cheap. But he needs to be more of a rotational piece. I'm not bringing him back as a starter at the safety position.
I had him fucking starting when we signed him because I was like, Abram is not it. And it took them a long-ass time to finally fucking sever ties with him.
Yeah.
But, look, you want to make him a rotational piece, make him a rotational piece. Another vet, great locker room presence, a guy that can definitely help in development of some of these young safeties. I bring him back, man. I bring him back.
Bro, if you look at your defense and you have Duron Harmon starting, it's not a great defense. Like, we need to upgrade that. You know what I mean? We have to. And I like him. He's a leader. He made plays for us on this defense that shit the bed this season. Bring him back, but for the cheap. As long as he doesn't start, I am all for bringing in the closer because he made some big plays for us. Shout out to Brandon, man. Love what you do, Docs. Thanks for the support for the nation. It is a family. We appreciate you, my brother. Shout out to you. Let's keep it pushing, man. So we talked about the closer. You already said what you said, but this guy, 28 years old, familiar with this scheme, familiar with this system, played really good, but also for his age, made some very, very questionable, boneheaded penalties this season. I said this before on previous lives, you guys. Any really good offensive line will never have Jermaine Eluemunor starting at right tackle, right? I have the same thing that I said about Duron Harmon is the same thing I'm going to say about Jermaine Eluemunor. You bring him back, but on the cheap, and you make him a rotational piece that can kick in the guard, kicking outside if you need be, but he needs to be a guy that can be a Swiss Army knife in that offensive line if anybody gets hurt, right? That's it. He is the Duron Harmon of the offensive line. You bring back Eluemunor, but he does not start on the right side. Could you imagine Brady saying, I'll go to Vegas. Wait. Jermaine Eluemunor is my right tackle?
Get him the fuck out of here right now.
Yeah. So for the cheap, I bring him back and make him a rotational piece. I think he loves being a Raider. He stays consistently interacting with the nation on Twitter, Instagram, and all that good stuff. But if he can come back for the cheap, I'm cool with that. Hold on real quick, y'all.
Yo, this spam bot this cloud bot is fucking up tonight, and I apologize for those that are getting the warnings and all the other shit. I just made the adjustments for it, so I apologize. Shout out to GA on the. You guys probably hear it.
Rest, you made my day.
Appreciate you, GA, on the $4.99. Eluemunor is a must if we need a quick holding penalty.
Now, and the thing is, GA, right? I agree with you because at 28 years old, he's not going to right that ship. That's who he is. Like at 28 years old, that's who it is. He's not going to change that. But I'm okay with bringing him in as a rotational guy, just not a starting right tackle or not a starting right guard. All right, let's get to the next one, man. We got a guy that I think we can all agree on as well. He'll be 28 years old this year. He was only paid $1.2 million. He's an unrestricted free agent. A guy that we thought would come in and help bolster this linebacking core. A guy that in 2019, I believe, was like the number one cover linebacker in the league, right? We thought maybe, just maybe, we had one of those guys that would help the second level of our defense. And it didn't happen. I think we all have to agree Jayon Brown has to go.
There's absolutely nothing we can even say about him. Like, yeah, a lot of us, he's what we need. He's a cover linebacker. Da da da. How many times did we watch him get his fucking boot smoked?
Smoked.
Bye.
Nothing to say.
Missed.
Nothing to say. He's out of here. Clear cut, gone. We're not bringing him. I don't even think we even look back at his contract. I think it's just clear cut. He's out of here. Another guy that's the same exact age as him. Former, I think, 5th round, 6th round. I think it's 6th round. I don't know. Out of Baylor. A guy that we picked up off, I believe, Cincinnati's practice squad. We were just looking at it like, here we go, man. We're still just trying to put a Band-Aid on this defensive tackle position. And he came in and looked really good for us. Andrew Billings.
I'm fucking loving that shit now.
I'm bringing back Andrew Billings.
I'm bringing back Billings. There's really nothing. There's nothing negative that could really be said. But like all of a sudden, and this is another reason why I'm saying bring Tillery back. Like Tillery came here, and all of a sudden, it's like the life on the interior D line woke the fuck up, and all of a sudden, you saw Billings balling out, Nichols every once in a while, Klee every once in a while. Yeah, I'm bringing back Billings. Absolutely.
Yeah, look, he'll be a cheap, inexpensive option. A guy that can play the nose. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really think this is it's not that big of a, like, we don't have to really overthink this situation. You bring back Billings. He's going to be cheap. He's not had a great NFL career. Bring him back. He's a solid rotational guy on the defensive line. I'm cool with that. And Sean, yes, I was trying to say that, bro. I actually said it on the live a couple lives ago. We thought that Jayon and Corey Littleton were going to be those guys. What's funny is Corey went to Carolina and actually kind of bought out for him. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. But I'm bringing Billings back. Lil bro, you bringing it back too?
Yeah.
Okay. Right here, we have a guy that's about to turn 30 years old. This season was kind of, in spurts, a little breath of fresh air, brought a little elusiveness to, special teams and into the running back position. Amir Abdullah. I think that he was kind of who the team thought Brandon Bolden would be, right? Like low key. Like, I mean, the guy made a couple plays here and there. He's up there in age. We already drafted Zeus. Sincere McCormick will be back this season. You got to give Britton Brown your 7th round out of UCLA, unless he doesn't make the squad this year. You have to give him a chance. I think we move on from Amir Abdullah.
He was a guy when he made this roster that was like, he's a part that's going to be a special teams guy at best. I think if we keep him just for that, being a return man. But
okay,
I don't know if I necessarily see him back in a rotation. And yes, I want to find out, one, we better not be going into this season 53-man roster with another fucking depth chart of like 6 running backs.
No.
I would like to see Jacobs, Zeus, Britton Brown, and potentially Sincere McCormick. But that's it.
Yeah.
I don't want anything more than that. And you don't count Jakob. Jakob is a fullback.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. That doesn't count as a running back depth chart.
Look, I don't want Amir taking up, punt returns and all that. I don't want him taking up a spot on this team. I don't want him out there karate kicking players on accidents and giving us 15-yard penalties. I am cool. Look, I like Amir. I definitely do. But moving forward, I think we need to get younger at that position as well, like the linebacker position. Sincere, Britton Brown, Zeus, Josh Jacobs. That should be the running back room. I think Brandon Bolden signed a 2-year deal, right, little bro? So he'll be back for another year.
Bolden, I kind of want gone.
Bolden's
like 150 years old, man.
Exactly.
Like, it's time for him to go. I saw it earlier. I don't have it in front of me. I fucking saw what his value was, and we need. It
don't matter. Like he has one more year on his deal. I think we'll end up cutting him. I know that Josh loves him because he came over from New England. I think he'll be another guy out. Isaac Rochelle, defensive end, 27 years old. He didn't see any burn. I think he's gone. Jordan Jenkins, outside linebacker. We signed him, and I believe he got hurt in practice like immediately, right? And was gone. 28 years old. He's out of here. Another guy, inside linebacker, Micah Kaiser, didn't even see a fucking down. I believe he didn't play at all, right? Didn't he get hurt immediately?
Yeah. Yep.
I think we can agree on all three of these guys. Move on, right? Tashawn Bauer played really well in preseason. Didn't see any burn during the regular season. Defensive end, 27 years old. What do you think, bro? I'm moving on from him. There's no reason to even bring him back. Me personally, I'm cool. What do you say about any of those guys?
Let me just touch on Jack's super chat real quick. Like, look, they didn't bring him back. McDaniel, Ziegler didn't bring him back. And look, this is one of McDaniel's guys in regards to Jakob. So I don't see us bringing back Ingold. Another guy that I absolutely loved. We're not bringing him back, man. We're not. I'm sorry. We're not bringing him back.
It's not happening at all. Shout out to Jack Kenna, my Sacramento brethren. I think we can agree. Move on from all those guys.
Absolutely.
Matthias Farley, 30 years old, strong safety. Move on from him. I don't really see any reason to bring him back. Do you?
No.
Okay.
Almost non-existent, so no.
Another guy that was cut this season by the Seattle Seahawks. Only played a little bit for us here and there. Still young, 26 years old. He'll be 27 later on in the year. Me personally, I would bring back Sidney Jones as a rotational guy, not a starter. But what do you think about bringing Sidney Jones back?
See what he does in preseason.
There you go. I like that. I like that a lot. I think that he still has all the potential in the world. I used to watch him when he was a Husky in college. I was a big fan of Sidney Jones. Just never really lived up to the hype since coming to the NFL, but I'll take a flyer on him. Another guy, 25 years old. He was only paid $895,000 this year. I think this is a guy that I would bring back as a special teamer, can play safety as well. Roderick Teamer.
Yes.
Okay. I like that because he was a Gus Bradley guy. We
Yeah.
kept him around even when Gus moved on to Indianapolis. I bring back Roderick Teamer. I think that he's a great special team guy, and I think that he can go out there and play some strong if need be.
There's times where he was a rotational piece on defense. Like, yes, he's very, very good in special teams.
Yeah.
As a rotational piece, there were times where he's had to step up, and I feel at times that he did. So yeah. I'll bring him back.
Okay. I like that. All right. Another guy, got a little bit of burn, I guess. Wasn't really paid nothing this season, a restricted free agent. So we have an option to bringing him back. Right now we're kind of thin because one of our other guys we're going to talk about later on is a free agent as well. Jesper Horsted. Made a couple catches this season. He's only 25, tight end. Really can't block too well. He's kind of a receiving guy. What do you think about bringing back Jesper Horsted? Me personally, I'm moving on.
Nope, you got to go.
Okay, simple and plain. Another guy we brought in kind of later in the season, a guy that kind of bounced around. I think he was a Kansas City Chief. I believe he grew up a Raider fan as well. At that point, our linebacking core was pretty much non-existent. Everybody was hurt. Divine Diablo was out of the lineup. Denzel Perryman was out of the lineup. We were pretty much playing with threads at that point. Curtis, Bolton, no. Go.
See ya.
Okay.
See ya.
Clear cut. Deuces. A guy to us that helped us usher in this new era, right? And I don't mean him per se. I don't want to say that because I don't want to shit on our former guy, but a guy that came in and kind of let us know that there's still a glimmer of hope moving on from the guy that's been with us for 9 years, right? A guy that came in, played against the number one defense, his first starting, first start in the NFL, went out there and threw for over 300 yards, I believe 3 touchdowns and 2 picks, played the number one off. I think we put up 34, 37 points. A guy that followed me on Instagram and then unfollowed me right when I followed him back. Jarrett High Stakes Stidham. What are you doing with Stiddy, man?
We don't know what our situation is right now in regards to the quarterback position. Look, there's a new report every fucking day. Now it's like we are really fucking following everything that Tom Brady does. Apparently, he was at a school in Miami, looking to schools for his kids, And now it's like, oh, he's going to Miami. Oh, he's going here. He's going there.
Hey, Raider 2, congratulations. You played yourself, King.
I would like to have Stid here, especially if we are, in fact, able to also get Tom Brady. We could definitely have Stidham as a backup. If we draft a quarterback, draft a quarterback, whatever the case may be. But look, I think realistically, the last 2 games that Stidham did start for us, it was somewhat of a showcase. First game, not bad against the Niners. You fucking put up some serious numbers against a team that was the number 1 ranked defense in the league.
Yeah.
Against the Chiefs, not so much. But look, it is what it is with that.
Bring Stidham back. Period. The end.
I'm bringing him back.
He should be your backup quarterback. He knows the system.
Yeah.
He showed enough dog. I mean, that play where he literally waited until the last second to get rid of that ball to Devontae Adams was enough for me. Bring back Stidham.
Yeah.
That's officially quarterback 2.
Look, we saw what he did in preseason.
Yeah, dude, bruh. I like Stidham. Bring Stiddy back. And the last guy on this list is a guy that we drafted. So he's homegrown talent. He's only 25 years old. He'll be 26 this year. He was only paid $752,000 this season. What was he? Fifth, sixth? I think a fifth, sixth rounder. Former LSU product. Some weeks it's like he can be the guy. You're like, ooh, that could be tied in 1. Get rid of Waller. And then other weeks it's, you know what? I can't wait till Waller gets back because the guy drops footballs in the biggest, the biggest games. It feels like. Foster Moreau. What are you doing with Foster, man?
We talked about the market value before, which I don't get how his market value is $9 million.
Yeah.
I, at this point, rather take a flyer on another free agent tight end, or unless Waller's traded, which I don't see it happening because it seems that the coaching staff seems to be high on Waller moving forward.
Yeah.
I think we might have to move on. Like, again, for $9 million, you're not worth $9 million, bro. I'm sorry.
You can draft a Foster Moreau in this draft
for
the cheap. Like why bring in, right? First of all, this team has no attachment. This new regime has no attachment to Foster Moreau. And if we do bring in Brady, who's to say that Gronk doesn't come with him, right? You can always draft another tight end. Look, the Patriots, these guys have never had a problem drafting tight ends. Let Foster go. Let somebody else overpay him, and and hope that he can get it done for them.
They did have one problem drafting a tight end. Just saying.
Well, I could say before he got stupid,
he didn't do it.
But either way, no, actually, I know he did because one of my best friends was best friends with the guy that got killed. So yeah, so I can say that Aaron Hernandez is a fucking dirtbag. But I will say this: these guys have a great extensive history with going out and getting tight ends, right?
And it doesn't even necessarily with the Patriots anyways. I'm sorry. Doesn't necessarily have to be through the draft. Look, they made trades, and these trades were supposed to be fucking big trades for them. And having a duo tight ends in Jonnu Smith and
Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry, yeah. But I don't know. We got to see, because we really didn't see that much, and it was one thing I thought we were going to see a lot of this year. But again, Waller was out too. I thought we were going to see a lot more of the 2 tight end sets and have them utilized a lot more, but we didn't see that. So I don't know. I don't know.
I'm moving on. I like him, but he doesn't do enough that it's like, oh my God, we have to keep him. You know what I mean? I'm not wasting any of this free. If you can go get a defender for the money you have to pay Foster Moreau, you go get a defender.
How many times did a ball get right in fucking Moreau's hands and it ended up being an INT one way or another?
Bro.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm sorry, dude, but next.
Yeah. And with that being said, that's it. Those are our guys. Shout out to the chat, man. We kind of gave our assessment on what we need to do in order to who bring back, who not to. Real quick, man, get your questions in, you guys. We'll go live for like another 10, 15 minutes. Get your questions in. Let me know what y'all think about what we just did here. These are all of our free agent guys. And what's crazy is, Hammer, like, none of these guys are must bring backs. Like, none of our major guys are free agents. Like, I'm not worried about if we lost all these guys outside of Josh, I wouldn't really trip.
And that was the thing. When it came to the defense, I said a lot of guys on this defense were Jags. Just a guy. We know who the cornerstones of our defense moving forward is. I really do believe that Nate Hobbs does need to be moved back to the slot corner position.
Yeah, but bro, we've been saying that since he got drafted. Keep him in the nickel. Like
Max obviously is not going anywhere. Chandler's not going anywhere. All these other guys, they're just a guy. So we figure out who they're going to bring back. We figure out the next moves, whether it be in the draft or free agency. We got to fucking revamp and retool this fucking defense ASAP. We're not fucking around this year. Like I said, realistically, if you guys looked at the contracts that were given, the extensions that were given, this is a 3-year plan. Year 1 was growing pains. This should be the comeback this year.
No, I agree. And Julio, I'm not against that. To be honest, I would love to trade back. I like Darnell Wright, offensive tackle. I'm down with doing that. You know what I mean? But if there's a star defender there at 7 that you think can be that guy that you can come in and be an instant starter and be a guy that can be a starter for you for fucking 5 to 10 years, you go out and get him. But I agree. Accumulate those picks. There's too many holes. You need safeties. You need corners. You need linebackers. The only position on this defense that is set in stone is the edge rushers. That's it. Think about that, bro. We need everything. We need corners, safeties, defensive tackles, and linebackers. Nothing on this side of the defensive side of the ball is set in stone except for Max Crosby and Chandler Jones. That's it. That's scary. Think about that. That whole defense needs to change. We got to revamp everything. So I'm all for moving back and grabbing one of those defenders in the middle of the first round and just accumulating picks. I'm with you on that, Julio. Definitely.
Jack kind of asked, Hammer and Docs, will Carr take a trade? That's the biggest question. Look,
yes,
it is that fucking I'm getting nervous though. And it's just because that whole fucking the handshake shit, and then we got to sit and wait 3 weeks. Somebody could pull out, pause, and be like, nope, not like. At
the end of the day, man, I'm not worried about none of that shit. That's just going to play itself out. Either he gets traded or he gets cut. I don't give a shit. I don't care at this point. Do you want to get something for him? Definitely.
Absolutely.
But if you can't, bro, the $32 million, the $100 million, like, bro, I'd rather have that. I don't care. So it is what it is. I'm not stressing about Carr. That shit is going to play itself out perfectly. And you have to realize this too. If you trade him somewhere, right, that affects the other team's free agency and everything else. Let them pull out. It's going to fuck them up too. So, you know what I mean? So I'm not too worried about that. Trade him to somebody that's desperate. That's going to give us some mean draft capital. And be cool with it. I'm not really stressed.
There's about 7 teams out there right now. About 7 teams that really need a quarterback right now. We'll see which one he'll actually even want to go to.
He has to go.
Yeah.
If he's no, Raider Nation for life, If Graham shits the bed again this season, he's out of here.
Yeah.
He's gone. But look, guess what? Not only him, Josh McDaniels will be out here. Everybody be gone. Carmen Brasillo, everybody's out of here. It is what it is. You shit the bed again, everybody got to go. It is what it is. Then we right back to square one trying to figure it out. Let me see. Everybody,
John, if we're gonna have to cut, like they're gonna make the ultimate decision February 15th. We're not going past February 15th. An ultimate decision will be made. So just take it as it goes.
I'm not bringing back Gabe Jackson. He's looked bad in Seattle. There's no way. And once again, this regime has no ties with Gabe Jackson.
Did you mention Andre James before?
We talked about him on other lives, but not today.
What do you think? Do we bring him back?
You know what's funny? I've always told all you guys that I wanted to keep Parham at guard, right? If you can move on and free up a few dollars and upgrade that position, push Parham into the inside, I'm cool with that. The only thing I'm afraid of is having to go get 2 guards. That's the shit that scares me. It's like you have to beef up if you move Parham to center, then you have to upgrade 2 positions. And it scares the shit out of me because we need 2 guards. Alex Bars is not the guy at all.
No,
you know I mean?
Hell no.
Think about that.
Another casualty, man.
Yeah, bro. We have to upgrade 3 positions. If we get rid of Andre James, you got to get 2 guards and a right tackle. That's scary, bro. In one offseason. That's some scary shit. So, I don't know. I'll say this, man. You can find a guard in free agency. You can actually draft one. You know what I mean? But it's just, that's a lot to ask for. But you got to move on from Alex Bars. He was ass. Jermaine Eluemunor played pretty well at right tackle, but the penalties were too much. We got to get better. Colton had a down year, but he still played fairly well at left tackle. I don't really, Parham has not really played that much as center. But if he needs to, I'm cool with that. I don't think we move on from Andre James, though. I think Andre James will still be here. He'll be the center.
Okay.
Trade back in the draft. Shout out to my boy Marcos. Pick up some extra picks and go get a guy like Drew Sanders. I agree. Witherspoon or Joey Porter. Joey Porter, man, that dude literally has avatar arms. Like his shit is like, bruh, like he's a monster, bro. Like that's the type of guy you want out there on an island with a wide receiver 1. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Joey Porter is going to be a dog at the next level. Devin Witherspoon as well out of Illinois. Another guy that could potentially be a lockdown dude. I feel like he can be like the Tariq Woolen of this draft. Not saying, because Tariq Woolen was a 4th round pick, but he's going to be a 1st round pick, but a guy that wasn't really spoken about too much and that ended up being, one of them guys. Drew Sanders is rising up a lot of people's boards, a lot of them. You know what I mean? So he'll be gone in the 1st round, but those are guys in Raider that we're all definitely looking at. Devin Witherspoon, Joey Porter, and Drew Sanders. Arkansas, Illinois, Penn State. 3 guys we're definitely looking at. Shout out to Highlight. Why pay for a vet QB if we can't afford it? Because we can.
All right.
We can afford it. Like, bro, why can't we not afford it?
At the same time, I think in regards to the Brady situation, I think he's going to be another guy to hold on. He potentially take I feel like he's potentially going to take like a 20. He always takes these pay cuts, right? I think 25.
He'd be like 15 million off the cap.
I think that his deal is going to end up being around the ballpark of $25 to $30 million. We're not going to go any higher than that. And I'm talking now Aaron Rodgers territory. We're not doing that. There's no fucking way. Then we'll have some problems with our cap and trying to really retool this team. I really do not believe Aaron Rodgers is going to be here. I don't.
No. Shout out to Will. I definitely heard this because I know firsthand that the Titans are trying to re-sign Jeffrey Simmons to an astronomical contract right now. Right? So they need the money. And Luan, like, bro, it's actually kind of cool. So we have a guy named Will, right? That was a former linebacker for the Raiders that can actually kind of put a word in for him. He did end up on the IR this season, was injured or whatnot, but the Titans are trying to free up money. I think they move on from Ryan Tannehill. Yep. I think this is a rebuild year. I think Malik Willis will be the starting receiver quarterback for them next year, unless they make a trade for like a fucking, a Derek Carr.
I'm hearing they're not really high on Malik Willis right now either, which is kind of disturbing with where they drafted him. That fucking Tennessee Titans organization is about to fucking have a shitstorm.
I'll tell you this. They just hired a new GM that I think is a really good dude. I think he'll turn that team around, but Tannehill's not getting it done. Malik Willis didn't really have too many options at the end of the season when he came in. Who do you have? Trey Burks? You know what I'm saying? Like who did he have? Like and Derrick Henry. Like their offense was so bro. You thought our offense with Gruden or was predictable? Their offense was. I couldn't even watch it. It was bad, bro. Like you knew exactly. Run first down, run second down, pat. Like it was very bad, bro. You know what I mean? That was boring football. You know what I mean? And Vrabel had to do what he had to do. You know, he's you know, it is what it is. They got rid of their offensive coordinator. He finally moved on. He'll go somewhere else. Look, man, if they move on from him though, well, I'm definitely down to take a look at that. Definitely, man. I will pay a guy like that. He's a dog. But the thing with him is I don't know if he wants to be more of a football player or a podcaster. And that's the thing. I hate to say that because we have a Darren Waller that wants to rap. We don't know, you know, everybody's like, does he want to rap? Does he want to play football? Can he do both? You know, he's a dog. He's a dog.
What did I miss, Jack? I'm sorry. If Carr gets traded to a team above the Raiders in draft, then better chance to draft a good one. Yeah, absolutely. If we get something within the top, I'll say inside the top 5, then yeah, there's a couple of quarterbacks out there that we could definitely take that chance on. But it all depends on which one of these teams that are within that top 5 are willing to give up that first round pick for DC. Again, I'm for that. That's the only way I'm drafting a quarterback in the first round is if we have a second first overall inside the top 10.
Yeah. Let me see. Shout out to King Josh. Hopefully this will be our last time picking in the top 10 for the next 5 years. We got to get a QB, Stroud or Levis, if he's there. You know, I'm a Levis guy. I know a lot of people think he's going to be a guy you have to cook up for a few seasons. That's my guy. That dude's arm strength is through the fucking ceiling. I'm a Levis guy. He's mobile. He can get it done.
He's got shades and a little bit better. He's got shades of Josh Allen. He's a kid.
Oh, okay. See, I'm looking at Anthony Richardson is more of a Josh Allen kind of guy. Mobile, strong arm.
You give me either one of those guys.
Yeah, Will Levis is a Ben Roethlisberger with athleticism.
Yeah, you give me AR-15 or you give me Will Levis, and look, we'll let everything else take care of itself moving forward.
But I would not be shocked though, little bro, if the 6'3" product out of Ohio State is a Raider. I would not be shocked if CJ Stroud was a Raider. I won't.
Telling you now, I'll put my head through one of the walls in this house if that shit happens.
Look, bro, at the end of the day, we've been asking. The last time we drafted a quarterback early was Derek Carr in the second round in 2014. Like, bro, and then before that, it was Jamarcus Russell. And then before that, what was it? It's been forever. At some point, you have to take a chance. I want to go defense. Trust me, I want to go defense early. But if one of those guys are there and you believe he can be that guy for you, this is a young quarterback league. Look, I only say bring in Tom Brady for a year, 2 years max. That's it. Like that's it. Everybody keeps saying, why you want an old quarterback? To help the young guy get groomed to be the guy moving forward. That's it.
I think people need to understand that this is where we've put this out there, and maybe people haven't heard it before. But yes, Brady would be the Band-Aid. We draft a quarterback. That quarterback learns the system behind the GOAT. I don't give a fuck. At this point, I don't care. Learns behind the GOAT, becomes the successor when he's ready to fucking pack it up.
Man.
It's a plan that makes sense. It's a plan that's gone on in the league for years on end over the last 10, 15 years. And we've seen a lot of these fucking top star quarterbacks now. We're learning behind veteran quarterbacks. Let this fucking happen. Let this happen.
Yo, we
just don't want anybody to learn behind Derek Carr.
Somebody was talking about facts. Somebody was talking about damn, what was that shit at? Damn, I can't find it now. Oh, shout out to I'm gonna just say this, bro. Mel Kiper never gets anything right. The only shit he gets right is the easy calls. It's like, oh, he's going number one, bro. I don't really remember a great draft where Mel Kiper called it. I don't like.
No,
Do you? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't watch ESPN like that, so maybe I'm wrong. But when I used to, I've never seen Mel Kiper be right about shit.
You know what's funny? As long as I've been doing this, and it's been, I think, almost 2 years, like I really have fallen off of ESPN. Like I really cannot stand to listen to a lot of analysts on ESPN. Mel Kiper definitely being one of them. And I put the post up on IG today of who he has us drafting in our mock draft with the 7th overall. He has us going the route of an offensive lineman out of Northwestern.
Yep.
Bro, that's not top priority right now. I'm sorry. If we want to get a tackle, we're going to get a veteran tackle in free agency, but we are not fucking drafting an offensive lineman in the first round.
Most of those guys are ass. Real shit. Shout out to John. I'll tell you this. Both these guys want a veteran quarterback. But what I heard behind the scenes is that Ziegler was very, very heavy on CJ Stroud and Josh McDaniels was heavy on Bryce Young. That's what I heard. But Bryce Young won't be there. And who's to say Stroud will? But there was a clash. This is what I heard behind the scenes. My guy could be wrong. All I'm going to say is it was a split decision, but it wasn't one of them kind of situations where it's like, nah, fuck that. I get my guy. It was just, I like this guy better. I like this guy better. But they both agreed that we need a veteran presence to get the young guy situated. So,
Chester said, who in the hell is Mel Kiper?
Hey, he's a dude that look like a vampire, bro.
That's fucking Quentin Tarantino's fucking stunt double, bro.
Facts. Motherfucker like a vampire for real. But I'll say this, John. Zeke is always going to win. This isn't a John Gruden and Mayock situation. It's not. It's not. So Zeke is always going to win.
So did you hear about this in regards to Sean Payton? Like, look, right now, there's a good chance he might not end up being a head coach in the league again.
No, he walked away from Arizona today without a deal, walked away from Denver without a deal.
He wants $20 to $25 million a year, and he also wants full control. Bro, continue to work for Fox because you're not getting that anywhere.
Won one championship, and you out here demanding that kind of crazy shit. Wild.
Meth is a terrible drug. Shout out to Ruben on the 499. We need Tyree Wilson. Look,
that's been Hammer's dude since day one. If we draft Tyree Wilson, bro, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Hammer, I am flying you out to Dallas on my own dime just to take you out to dinner. I'm telling y'all now, if Tyree Wilson falls down to us at 7 and we take him, I am flying my little brother to Dallas for a steak dinner.
And this was before we started mock drafts. This was before people started talking about this kid. And look,
I didn't even know who Tyree Wilson was.
I'm a UT fan.
Yeah.
I'm a UT fan, not a Texas Tech fan, but I saw enough on this kid that I'm like, he could be a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Let's get him. So, and shout out to Ruben on that red and black on that Raider logo too, because like
that's cool.
You're saying Tyree Wilson, you got the Texas Tech colors right there. There you go. A red Raider will be in the silver and black. Let's go.
Shout out to GA. Facts, Docs. McDaniel's job is to figure out how to win with the team Ziegler gives them.
There you go.
Facts. Shout out to my dog, GA Patriot. That's my dude. Shout out to Halo. My dog is trying to kick the door, and I can't stand this little bit. She get on fucking nerve. I'll fly out there with you guys. Halo, I'm gonna call you after this live, bro. If we don't see you in Vegas next weekend, we're gonna be very upset, bro.
Yes, I'll be crying.
No. Halo, very upset, bro. If we don't see our big fucking buff brother in Las Vegas next Friday or Saturday, we are going to be very upset, bro. Your position in Mount Shillmore is going to downgrade. Okay.
Shout out to Edgar.
Love you, bro.
Shout out to Edgar in the chat. Isn't Skoronski a left tackle? Yes, he's a left tackle. Yeah. So look, Colton Miller is solidified as our left tackle.
Yeah, he'll move to the right side.
From what Mel Kiper was saying, it would be either he could be put in there, he could be plugged in as a guard, or he would potentially be moved to right tackle. Again, I really, reading that this morning, I still put it up on IG, even though as I'm reading it, I'm like, what the fuck is Mel Kiper talking about? But yeah, he's a left tackle out of Northwestern.
He can play guard. He can move around. But either way, we need defense. And I hope, you guys, I hope that Denver is desperate again 2 years in a row to go give up a first-round pick for Sean Payton and then some. I hope so. This guy has won one Super Bowl. One Super Bowl. He's been to a couple of NFC championships. I understand that. I hope that Denver gives up another first-round pick on a fucking coach. That shit would be hilarious. Please give up all your draft capital. Give up 2 firsts. Do what you need to do to go get Sean Payton. I am not afraid of that man at all. He is a year removed from football. The guy is not that great of an offense. He's not an offensive fucking guru to me that everybody else thinks he is. I just don't see it. I don't. He had a luxury of having Drew Brees, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, around for many moons, a great run game, and other weapons around him. I don't think that he's going to implement an offense in Denver that's going to turn that fucking franchise around. So please, Denver, please do. Give it up.
Shout out to Rob.
They do have a first-round pick. Real quick, though. They do. They traded their defensive end to Miami and got their first pick.
Yeah.
Bradley Chubb went to Miami. They got a first-round pick.
Rob, you're the resident meathead of the Raider Nation, brother. You know I love you. I just saw another one that I wanted to touch on. T-Rex Skoronsky. Where did I see it? He said he had T-Rex arms. He'd convert.
He does have short arms.
Yeah, he would convert to a guard after a failed preseason Ridgeback. That's fucking valid ass point, bro.
Shout out to Scott, man. I appreciate you, bro. Sucks that it didn't work out for you in Austin. But I'll definitely hit me up, bro. I'm gonna be in Vegas a lot. During the season, I'll work out there. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. We working in hotels. We doing a bunch of different shit out there. So hit me up, brother. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Wipe them feet. Hit them thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button to both of them, Hammer's House and DOX ENT. Shout out to GA. Real question. Oh yeah, bro. Come on, man.
Yes.
Every year,
yeah,
bro. To me. That's look. Let me tell y'all something real quick. March 15th, when free agency hits, all of our channels will be connected, and we're doing a free agency frenzy for hours. We will probably be live for 10 hours that day. Real shit. We're connecting the channels, will be lit, and then the draft. We do that every year. So I love it. Like real shit. That is my favorite time of the year, covering the draft and covering free agency. So stay tuned for that, GA. Let me see. Steve says Brady, Gronk, Taylor Lewan, Marcus Peters. Raiders need to be stacked in talent. I agree. All those names sound good to me. I think one of the only people that thinks that to bring in Marcus Peters would be smart. I know a lot of people. He gets burned a lot. Well, he also makes big plays. He also forces a lot of fumbles. Like why not? Like, bro, we're already ass at the corner position anyway.
Give us your starting offensive line for the Raiders next season. Oh shit. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, it's hard because we don't even know who's on the roster. You know what I mean? So we'll talk about that more when we see free agency and we go through a full draft.
Rob, you're an asshole, bro.
I love Rob. That's my dog.
Fucking dick, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Andy fucking cooked Hammer. Like,
I don't play Madden online.
And guess what, Hammer? We all see that now. Shout out to Edgar. Who gets pushed to the curb first? Zeeg, defensive coordinator. Oh, it's not Zeeg. This is Zeeg's team.
It's going to be Patrick Graham first.
Graham will be, he'll be the first one out, and then Josh McDaniels will be going after that. But this is Zeeg's team.
If, and I'm saying this is a huge if it ever gets to that point that Ziegler has to fire McDaniels, that's just going to be looking like when fucking Nino Brown shot G Money and fucking
the one tier drop.
New Jack City. He's like, yeah, exactly.
Hey, man, these guys grew up. Didn't they play at college or high school together?
Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is this. These guys are veterans in the NFL. When they got together and they both got signed on, I guarantee they both said, whatever happens, we are brothers. We love each other regardless. These guys are millionaires off a game they love, bro.
You know friends is friends. Business is business. That's it.
Straight up, bro. You know what I mean? If it's bad for business, you got to move on, bro. Because You know, I mean, shit. What Josh McDaniels makes doesn't feed Zeke's family, and you know, same shit.
Who do we get at tight end to replace Foster? Either we get someone through the draft, or again,
Grizzard.
Yeah, like it's a possibility, but I think it's a bit of a stretch. Honestly,
it definitely is. Well, shit, bro, it's a stretch to get Brady. To be honest, you know what I mean. But they can both happen. But I'll say this: draft one. Go get a young guy this year and move on from Foster. You don't pay a tight end 2 that kind of money when you just pay the tight end 1. Doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Foster Moreau is gone. He's gone. Like unless he comes back for the cheap, I don't see how that will work at all. Shout out to everybody here in the building, man. Little bro, what you got to say, man? We're coming up on an hour and a half. We went over the whole free agency thing. I'm gonna go spend some time with the fam and kick it a little bit. What you got going on?
So some off Raiders news for those that have been watching TikTok pretty much since the pandemic. You had these dudes on there, father and son duo known as the Inky Boys. Man, some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. And seriously, like probably the most loving family ever. The father, Randy Gonzalez, just passed away yesterday of colon cancer at the age of 35 years old. I put it in the description. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. He had a GoFundMe that was for his chemo. The doc, like, apparently they wouldn't take the insurance. So he put up a GoFundMe. They've already raised over $250,000. Look, this is a very, very tough situation right now. His son, he survived by his 2 girls and his son and his wife. His son is now an actor on George Lopez's new show. The kid is fucking hysterical. Yeah. It's just a tragic situation. I put the link up to support him, support the family. So guys, if you want to donate, the link is right there. When you put it, if you donate, put in the comment section, Raider Nation. We know George Lopez is a huge Raider fan. Yeah. So guys, everything counts no matter what it is. Saturday night, 7:45 Eastern, 4:45 Pacific time. We will be live. It's my birthday. We're doing the 2023 Royal Rumble.
I'm popping in for sure, at least for a few.
We're going to be on the Melon app, so I will have the link. Big Mike is going to be on with me as well. We're going to be doing coverage of the Royal Rumble.
Shout out to our brother, Big Mike.
So pull up. Let's have a good time. Much love to everybody in here tonight. Appreciate everybody that pulled on up. Appreciate everybody with the super chats.
Yeah, definitely.
Much love to all you guys, man.
Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Make sure you guys wipe them feet and break them thumbs. We appreciate you guys for rocking. Hit them subscribe buttons. I'll be back tomorrow, probably with a coffee and combo. I know both of our brothers will be back soon. I know Andy will be live. Wasted to be live. This Mount Shillmore shit don't stop, and it's never going to stop. Shout out to everybody here in the building. We appreciate you guys so much, man. Thank you for rocking with us. We appreciate y'all. We outro, man. 1.